From 1929 to 1971, the Monsanto Anniston plant in Alabama produced PCBs as industrial coolants and insulating fluids for transformers and other electrical equipment. PCBs became central to American industries as lubricants, hydraulic fluids, and sealants. PCBs are highly toxic members of a family of chemicals that mimic hormones, and have been linked to damage in the liver and nervous system, as well as immune, endocrine and reproductive disorders. While the plant was in production, excess PCBs were dumped in a nearby open pit landfill, or allowed to flow off the property with storm water. Some were poured directly into a creek running alongside the plant and emptying into a larger stream. Today, after tons of contaminated soil have been removed in an effort to reclaim the Anniston site, the area around the old Monsanto plant continues to be one of the most polluted spots in the U.S. The people of Anniston have breathed air, planted gardens, drunk from wells, fished in rivers, and swum in creeks contaminated with PCBs without knowing the danger. As public awareness grew in the 1990s, health authorities found elevated levels of PCBs in houses, yards, streams, fields, fish, and people. The cleanup is now underway, and will take years, but once PCB is absorbed into human tissue, it is there forever. Monsanto closed its PBC plant in Wales in 1977. In recent years, residents of Grosfine, in southern Wales, have noticed volatiles emanating from an old quarry outside their village. As it turns out, Monsanto dumped thousands of tons of waste from its nearby PCB plant into the quarry. British authorities have identified the site as one of the most contaminated places in Britain. What did Monsanto know about the potential dangers of the chemicals it manufactured? Information from court records indicates Monsanto knew quite a lot. The evidence that Monsanto refused to face questions about the toxicity of PBCs is clear. In 1956, the company tried to sell its PCB-containing hydraulic fluid, Hydra 150, to the Navy. Monsanto supplied the Navy with test results from the product, but the Navy decided to do its own testing. As a result, Navy officials informed Monsanto that they would not buy the product, saying that application of Hydra 150 caused death in all of the rabbits tested, and indicated definite liver damage. According to an internal Monsanto memo divulged during a court proceeding, no matter how we discussed the situation, it was impossible to change their thinking that Hydra 150 is just too toxic for use in submarines, stated Monsanto's medical director. In 1966, a biologist conducting studies for Monsanto in streams near the Anniston plant submerged test fish. He reported to Monsanto that all 25 fish lost equilibrium and turned on their sides in 10 seconds and all were dead in 3.5 minutes. The company swung into action to limit the PR damage when the Food and Drug Administration found high levels of PCBs in fish near the Anniston plant in 1970. An internal memo entitled Confidential, FYI and Destroy, from a Monsanto official, reviewed steps to limit disclosure of the information. One aspect of the strategy was to get public officials to fight Monsanto's battle. Joe Crockett, Secretary of the Alabama Water Improvement Commission, will try to handle the problem quietly without release of the information to the public at this time, said the memo. The plant manager of Monsanto's Anniston site convinced a reporter for the Anniston Star that there was nothing to worry about. An internal memo from Monsanto's headquarters in St. Louis summarized the story that subsequently appeared in the newspaper. Quoting both plant management and the Alabama Water Improvement Commissions, the feature emphasized the PCB problem was relatively new, was being solved by Monsanto and, at this point, was no cause for public alarm. The real truth is that there was huge cause for public alarm for the harm done to the public by Monsanto. But that was the old Monsanto, not today's shiny new Monsanto. Today's Monsanto says it can be trusted, that its biotech crops are as wholesome, nutritious and safe as conventional crop, and that the milk produced from cows injected with its artificial growth hormones is identical to the milk from untreated cows.